This is the story of Gilberto Valle. When it begins, he's 28 years old, living in Queens, New York. On the outside, his life looks solid. He's a police officer. He's newly married. He has a baby at home. Nothing about him screams danger, but he's hiding something dark. Gilberto has violent fantasies. Not just violent. He imagines kidnapping women, killing them, even eating them. He never tells anyone in his real life. He knows how disturbing it sounds. So he keeps it buried until 2012. That's when he starts visiting online forums and chat rooms filled with people who share the same twisted interests. For the first time, he feels understood. He connects with strangers who talk openly about cannibalism and abduction fantasies. And instead of feeling ashamed, he feels encouraged. He begins describing graphic scenarios in detail. At first, it's general talk. Then it becomes personal. He writes about his own wife, Kathleen. She has no idea. While she's living her normal life, Hayes line describing how Hay would kidnap her, torture her, kill her, and cook her. His online friends praise his imagination. The more they react, the darker his stories become. Soon he expands beyond his wife. He writes about coworkers, neighbors, old classmates. He creates detailed plans describing how he had stalked them, break into their homes, knock them unconscious, and abduct them. One woman in particular, a former classmate named Kimberly, becomes the focus of a document on his computer. In it, he lists her height, weight, ethnicity, even her bra size. He writes down supplies he would need: chloroform, rope, plastic bags to avoid leaving DNA in the trunk of his car. He emails the document to an online friend who responds with approval. In another chat, he negotiates with a man named Michael about kidnapping a friend of his wife's and selling her for $5,000. The deal is discussed seriously. Thankfully, it never happens. He even sends a man overseas a photo of Kathleen in a bikini. They discuss luring her on a trip, assaulting her, killing her, and eating her together. He's talking about his own wife. Up to this point, everything is still online fantasy. Sick, disturbing fantasy, but fantasy. That changes when he crosses a new line. Because Gilberto is a police officer, he had access to a restricted federal database, the National Crime Information Center. He begins using it to look up real women he's fantasizing about. He searches their addresses, criminal records, personal details. He gathers information on more than 80 women. Now it's not just imagination. He's using law enforcement tools to research potential victims. Meanwhile, Kathleen starts noticing something strange. He constantly clears his browser history. She suspects an affair, so she installs spyware on his computer. What she finds is far worse. She discovers searches like how to tie up a girl and discussions about human meat. She reads the chats describing plans to murder her and her friends. She sees stored photos of herself and other women. She finds graphic violent images saved on his computer. Terrified, she goes to the police. In 2013, Gilberto was arrested and charged. Prosecutors argue that this wasn't harmless fantasy. He had researched real victims. He had negotiated prices. He had accessed police databases illegally. His defense team argues the opposite. They claim it was extreme role-playing, that he never intended to act on it, that he never took physical steps toward kidnapping anyone. The jury initially convicts him. But in 2014, an appeals court overturns the conviction, ruling that the evidence showed fantasy role-playing, not a real conspiracy to commit kidnapping. After 21 months in jail, he is released. Since then, he has reinvented himself as a writer of extreme horror fiction. That's the unsettling part. A man who once wrote detailed blueprints about abducting real women is now publishing dark fiction for a living. If this story shocked you, make sure you're subscribed and tell me in the comments, do you think this was just fantasy or something much more dangerous?